Well, I'm not saying you only have to be honest in church, but in the world, do whatever you want. I'm not saying that at all. Amen. Amen. No. Acts 5:4 says, "You have not lied to men, but to God." You can't be honest and truthful in the house of God and in the world be a deceiving and conniving person. Our testimony must align with what we preach and teach. Amen. Like I remember, I don't know if I've mentioned this before in one of my videos, but I remember um, being at this church, and I had become I was serving, before I became a pastor and everything. I was serving. I was head usher. Sorry, head usher, and with that came the responsibility of counting what was given in the baskets. And I'm saying I'm saying this because again, our testimony must align with what we preach and teach. And I have a story that it goes kind of like with Ananias and Sapphira, um, but also with like Joseph. So I'll finish the story and you'll see. So I'm counting the money with this other gentleman, an older gentleman, a real fine man of God too. He's passed away and gone with the Lord now. But I remember counting money with him, and a few times we would get an envelope and there was nothing in it. Like someone just put an envelope in the basket just to like look like they gave a offering or something, which I'm like, why? Why do you need to do that? Like we were like me and that older gentleman would trip out. We were like, why do people do that? That's just, if you don't have it, you don't have it. That's fine. God owns the 1,000 cows and 1,000 hills. Like he doesn't need our money. But some people feel the need to do that, and that's on them. Amen. So we were just like, you're wasting an envelope. Someone could have put money in here, all that stuff. Someone could have gave something. So there was that. And then there was also me and him had the same kind of past. We were both like ex like drug addicts and like ran around in the streets and all that stuff. And we would look at each other when we would be counting money, and we would just smile, and we just knew. And because one of us said at one time that he goes, "Imagine if people knew who we were before. You think they would let us count all this money?" And I just started laughing because it was true. Like what God did in us, it was so wild.